Right, where are we, Steven?
Hola, soy Steven, and this is my niña, Lexi. Today, we are on an adventure. We are leaving the food capital of Vietnam, Canby Vietnamese restaurant at aka Happy Pho, and heading to Mexico to see a new place called Mucho Burrito. You can come too. Lexi here ordered the kids quesadilla.
Quesadilla?
And the
Quesadillas?
Guacamole. Guacamole. And the corn chips. I had the La Taqueria Trio, which is one of the famous dishes at Mucho Burrito. And that's where we are today.
Okay, so some months ago, Vance was bragging to us that his Cisco Flip
it
HD
actually increased in value.
Increased in value, despite the advent of things like an iPod Touch or other devices, phones that all have 1080p cameras.
And I do have iPhone 5.
Okay. He said the
I
Flip,
still like it.
The Flip video, we're going to see what model number this one is. Okay. This one is a Flip Ultra HD 3. Okay. Vance, how much are these on eBay? You said you saw one on eBay before.
I saw one. I saw actually one was damaged. One had like cracked glass or something. That one was like $450. And another one was around $500.
$400 or $500 for pretty. You know, this is technology that's a few years old. I mean, the little, you know, Sony had their Vloggy. You had the Flip. Kodak had one. I mean, everybody had one. It was sort of filled the gap between smartphones and camcorders. You know, that sort of gulf. Yeah, they're all HD and everything like that. Okay, let's have a look here. Flip Video Ultra HD 1 hour camcorder.
No. It's 2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. That's a big difference.
Make sure it's a 2 hour one.
It's 2 hour one.
Oh well, hold on. Can't you put a?
You didn't really find it for $500.
It's 2 hours.
No. Hold on. Can you put a card in there?
No.
No card. Okay. Oh, okay. 2 hours. Here's one. 2 hours. Buy it now. Now, even I think this is really high. $100 right there. So look, there you go. 8 gigabytes.
There's one. Buy it now. 8 gigabytes for $65. Buy
$65.
$65, Vance.
Second generation, $100.
Let me just say this one thing, Vance. Not in one time in human history has obsolete hardware gone up in price. Not one time. But Vance, you still enjoy using the Flip, right? Just because
I love it.
It's simple and it works.
But you have an iPhone 5.
We're just being hard on
I have iPhone 5.
It's got HD video camera right
I
there.
know.
So why do you carry two devices?
I used it too, but I still like the Flip better.
But why fix what ain't broke, right? I mean, he's been using that thing for years. But
Okay, you know what? In Vance's defense, we're gonna go and search sold items only.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
That's what you have to
$108. Okay, that's not too bad actually. 4 gigabyte, $31.
Holy.
8 gigabyte, $54. $50, $69. So
you know what? I would pay $30 for one.
I wouldn't have got a phone.
I don't think I would pay anything for one.
I don't think I would use it very often, but
I have video on these two devices.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and I don't really use the video on that.
Yeah, and I have all these.
It's just like this.
Hola, mi nombre es Alan y este es teléfono Sony Xperia ZL. This is Sony's latest flagship phone, the Sony Xperia ZL. It's a 5-inch 1080p display with 1.5 gigahertz Snapdragon quad-core CPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and an Adreno 320 graphics processor. Comes with 16 gigabytes of built-in memory, and it's expandable up to 64 gigabytes. It's got excellent build quality. I like how the back is curved and textured. It makes it easier to hold. However, the card door here I broke the first time opening it, but as you can see, it's still fine.
How big is the screen this time?
It's 5 inches. I said that already.
Oh, really?
Sony boasts the Bravia 2 processing engine for when you're watching videos and movies. Unfortunately, that only works when you're doing one of those two things, and I find the screen a little bit washed out when you're doing normal tasks like email, checking Twitter, or just using your phone. Camera is 13 megapixels, and one of the cool things about it is 1080p video at 30 frames per second on the back. And the front camera even shoots 2 megapixel 1080p video as well. The front camera is located up here, so they say it gives you a more natural perspective when you're chatting. I don't know, it's still up at the top. Looks the same to me. However, I don't know if you can hear this. I'll hold it up, but the 10 frames per second is awesome. Right now I just took, in this time, 32 shots, and there they all are.
Wait, so when it's doing rapid fire, it makes an artificial shutter sound?
Oh, of course. Yes. It makes, well, as with any digital camera that's not a DSLR, it makes an artificial shutter sound. Just like the EOS M we heard go right there.
That is actually a real shutter sound.
The very nice thing about, it's mirrorless. It's a real shutter sound, it's just mirrorless.
It's still a shutter.
The nice thing about the camera app is it puts all those shots into one folder, so you don't have them mixed in with your regular camera as well. And the included headphones sound really good. They're certainly amongst the better quality that you get that are usually shipped with a phone, and definitely better than Apple's earbuds, but that doesn't take much. All in all, it's a nice phone. I'm not decided about the screen yet. We'll see. Well done, Sony. It's nice. Oh, one thing to note, that although it is a larger screen than the Samsung Galaxy S3,
is it 6.5? It's not 6.3 inches yet, is it?
No, the GS3 is only 4.7 inches, but this phone is actually smaller. It's a smaller footprint than the Samsung Galaxy S3. Marginally, but for a bigger phone. For a bigger screen size.
What's the shape?
It's not the point. It's smaller.
Yeah.
It's smaller and much easier to hold. Especially when you're like lying down and typing, it's not slipping all over the place.
Right.
That's
So
it.
you like it better than the Galaxy?
iPod as well. Like, it took 2 years for them to come out with the iPod Mini, and then when you
became
had
the
the
Nano
newer
and the
generation,
Shuffle.
you had Nanos and Shuffles and things like that. So, what about an iWatch? Like, is a small device the next thing? Like, we keep seeing these phones getting bigger and bigger.
It's gonna work in tandem, right? Because then, like, I think what it's gonna be is that people will want to have those giant phones for the purposes of watching videos and surfing the web and things like that. But to check your text messages or like a quick notification of email, or even to make voice calls like Inspector Gadget, like to have it as like on your watch, on your wrist all the time, so you don't need to take something out of your bag or out of your pocket or whatever, right?
I think it's just more convenient because when you, instead of taking it out of your pocket, you just go. And
well, like when you get a text message, like if you don't need to reply to it right away and you just want to, your friend is saying I'm here, you just go to Business Avenue.
I think the watch. I'm surprised we haven't seen it already in this modern era of smartphones. Back in 2004, I had a Microsoft wristnet watch made by Fossil, the monochrome screen. It was even backlit as well.
I
with an
totally
LED.
wanted one of those. Yeah.
I'll have to bring it into Dot Com Pho sometime because it's a neat piece of tech history. It had a little charging dock on it. It was charged with like contactless, like induction charger. It updated with an FM radio tower. There was one in Vancouver here, and there was tons in other cities across North America. You could get stock quotes. You can get your Hotmail headers. You could get news, weather, things like that. You could download new watch faces. It was a very, very cool technology. It wasn't very big. I mean, not much bigger than your average, a bit bigger than that, but not much bigger than your average, like, big sports watch, G-Shock or something like that. So, could Microsoft come back? I mean, they've done it before. Could Microsoft be first with a product like that? Are they working on something like that? Maybe, but Apple's probably going to come in and do it. It's going to be expensive. But, people view a watch as something different than a phone. I mean, it's an accessory. Watches have always been expensive. I mean, a Timex is $100, but you can go with a nice watch
for like $4 grand.
$20 grand. My tag was $3,500.
There you go. So I think people would be more than willing to pay $300-400 for a really miniaturized piece of technology like that.
Well, because it's a fashion
if it were also a fashion statement as well, too.
It has to be also a fashion statement to be able to be willing to pay that kind of premium, because it is an accessory, right?
But I'm not going to be wearing a watch, because what's going to happen is you're going to have your phone or tablet in your pocket, you're going to have your Google glasses, you're going to have your your Bluetooth headset in, and you're going to have your watch.
You don't need your Bluetooth headset if you have the Google Glass.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go.
Because you can make phone calls through that.
So now your cameras, you're going to be your camera will now be your phone, although I think you'd look kind of funny if you were doing your Skype call this way, but
yeah, they haven't addressed that part, have they?
No.
That's the mini competition.
How on earth?
a drone.
Video
calling has never caught on.
Oh front of a mirror.
I was like, I was totally thinking. So
how do we like see ourselves with something? Oh yeah.
I was like,
better happen like 500 years.
How do you make a call? And how do you make a call? Like
Google Mirror.
Yeah,
You know,
you just need to hold a mirror in front of your face. Yeah.
so I'll be walking around
Well,
with
it's the eye mirror. It's $2.99.
$2.99 for the eye mirror.
It's the eye mirror. It's an extension.
Reinvented.
This is what the world is coming to.
Well, like with the flexible displays that are going to be with the iWatch or whatever they want to call it, I'm really looking forward to see how far they can take the flexible display to the point where it is rollable. So then, like, if you want to have the big display, it doesn't necessarily have to be a big product.
Yeah.
Right? If it can be, you know, like a scroll, basically, right? So you have like these two tubes, and then you pull it out, and then you can have like
It's hanging on the wall and watch it,
right? Because you can have like however big a phone, it's just gonna be a certain width.
The eye
right?
scroll, taking you back to the New Testament.
I scroll. Yeah.
I scroll. That's
that.
perfect.
Yeah, of biblical proportions, right? So,
Oh man, you can see the commercial now in your head. It's just like, it's white.
the
A new
Jesus phone,
revolution brought to you by Apple of biblical proportions.
the Jesus phone,
The iPhone and the eye scroll.
the eye scroll.
From the book of Job's.
Steven, what are you doing?
Hands free.
That's right.
Hands free.
He gets pretty mischievous when he's wearing that shirt, I think.
Brings a whole new meaning to the term of those support devices.
That's a nice.
Yeah, who needs $15,000?
Yes, my 15.
Yes, my pretty.
It's the Movi Fung style.
Not nearly as stable.
Okay, so the other gadget of the week is the Enerplex Kickr 4, and it's a it's a 4-panel solar charger. It has a single USB output. It outputs at 1 amp, so you can charge iPhones and smartphones and tablets and that kind of stuff. I thought that the iPad needed 2 amps, but apparently you can triple charge at 1 amp, and it takes forever. But at least it does work. So it is USB, so anything that charges via USB you can use. It comes with this handy cable that has the iPhone or iPod 30-pin as well as the mini and micro USB. So that's almost everything short of lightning. So then you'll need like your lightning cable if you want to charge an iPhone 5 or something like that. And it is USB, so you can use whatever other cables you already have, right? So the way it works is there's like a Velcro strap that kind of keeps it nice and neat and tidy. So it's about the size of like a book, so you can throw in your backpack or whatever. So if you undo the Velcro, it folds out as 4 solar panels. It's about 6 or 7 inches each way, times 4. So this is obviously a lot bigger than some of the really small solar chargers that you'll see on the market with really small solar panels. It is able to collect quite a bit of sun. In my testing with it, it still needs to be pretty sunny for it to actually do anything. So like the way I tested it was, I just connected something via USB and just waited to see when it says it's going to start charging, to see whether or not it works, right? And what I found is, if it's a little bit overcast, it won't work. If there's indirect sun coming through a window, it doesn't work. So like, you kind of, this is really more meant for like outdoor use. So if you're going camping or fishing or something like that, you kind of leave it out.
So they're not for .com moguls to spend all days indoors.
Exactly. They say that under optimal conditions, you should be able to charge an iPhone in like a couple hours. So that would be the same as if you plugged it into the wall, more or less. Right? So, but that's under optimal conditions. Like I said, you kind of do need quite a bit of sun.
Outdoors on a day that's not like Vancouver weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the new strength of the sun.
Yeah, like they are quoting their times based on like ideal conditions, right?
Yeah.
$130, and the full review will be up on Megatech News later this week.
Cool. That's our second gadget of the week.